Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking overnight, a person of interest is now out of custody and the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. What we're learning from investigators this morning.
And big changes when you head out the door. It is warmer and we're tracking showers that will affect the morning commute. I'll show you the timeline for the rain.
And we are tracking a measles alert. Health officials say someone with the virus visited locations in Raleigh. What Wake County residents should know and what to watch for if you were exposed. Thank you so much for waking up with us this Wednesday morning here on WRAL News. I'm Chris Levingood. Elizabeth Gardner is very closely watching the next weather maker for us. But I mean, we got to talk about walking outside this morning, mid-50s, Elizabeth?
Yeah, such a big difference. We hit 70 for the high yesterday. So this has been a real change with this very different air mass. Here's a look at our cold front. And along that front, right across our area, it's nice and dry. But back to the west, there's definitely rain. Notice that none of it looks heavy. It's fairly patchy. And so we're not looking at anything heavy for this morning. We'll show zoom in on dual Doppler 5000 radar, just a little bit of a sprinkle trying to work its way into the sandhills. That's where it will begin this morning. So here's a look at Futurecast, and we take it on out to around 7, 8 o'clock, and you can see just some light patchy rain. The farther north you are, the less of this you'll likely see. It doesn't look like it's going to be something that causes us a lot of big problems during the morning commute, but sometimes you can be surprised at how a little bit of rain really makes a mess out there. We will see clearing after lunchtime, and then the temperatures will begin to fall. Today will be on the mild side, but not as warm as what we saw yesterday. Here's a live look at downtown Raleigh. It's cloudy right now. The southwest wind at 10 miles per hour. That's what's helped to warm us up. 57 is our current temperature. It's 60 in Fayetteville, Clinton, and Goldsboro, and 59 in Roxborough right now. Yes, these temperatures are anywhere from about 25 to 35 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. We don't see such a big change that often. We'll keep it in the 50s all the way up until around lunchtime, and then we may climb into the mid-60s this afternoon with a bit of sunshine. After that, cooler air arrives for the rest of the week, and I'm following what could be a pretty big rainmaker this weekend.
All right, we'll come back to you in a bit. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, breaking in the last hour, a person detained for questioning in the investigation of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance was released. Overnight, law enforcement were searching an Arizona home in connection to that case. And what you're seeing is video from Rio Rico. That's about 60 miles south of Guthrie's home in Tucson. It's unclear what police were searching for at that home. As for the person of interest who was detained last night, the Pima County Sheriff's Department says that development happened based on investigative leads, and the person was not charged. This news comes after the FBI released new doorbell camera images yesterday, but it's unclear if the person who was being questioned is the same person in the pictures. And WRAL has been speaking with a former FBI crisis negotiator about the Nancy Guthrie case, and we're trying to get a sense of what's likely happening behind the scenes. Luis Velasco spent 30 years with the agency, including with the case here in Wake County. He worked on the Frank Jansen kidnapping case in 2014. And he says the FBI may only be sharing the images from Nancy Guthrie's doorbell camera now because it took time to retrieve them from the doorbell camera.
I want the public to know that they're really good at what they do. And they have to have optimism. And I would reach out, I would say to the family to keep hope. And that we're all praying for the family.
Velasco says right now, crisis negotiators like him are working with the Guthrie family. They'll be trying to manage the family's expectations. And he also says if there is any communication with whoever kidnapped Nancy, negotiators will try to humanize the victim. He says he also knows the FBI has been working hard to authenticate any communication or ransom note that's coming in. And WRAL has been following new developments in this case since the very beginning. You can find our coverage on the WRAL YouTube channel. Just search Nancy Guthrie. We want to give you a live look from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker this morning, and this is at the scene of a law enforcement investigation in Durham. Sheriff's deputies are at a home on Cheek Road, and they've been there for about, several hours, at least since 3 this morning. We have reached out to Durham County's Sheriff's Office for more information. We'll update you as we learn more. The defense resumes its testimony in the sentencing of Hedingham mass shooter Austin Thompson. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar is outside the Wake County Justice Center this morning. And Ali, yesterday, the defense pointed to acne medication as to a possible cause for that mass shooting in Raleigh.
Yeah, Chris, just one of their efforts to try to convince the judge that Austin Thompson deserves a chance at parole. Now, their efforts are going to continue today, and we want to take you through what happened yesterday. The defense started building a case, emphasizing a possible adverse reaction to Thompson's acne medication, minocycline. Now, Thompson's defense team brought psychiatrist Dr. George Corvin to the stand. He's evaluated Thompson. Corvin says the side effects from that acne medication could include depersonalization. He says that type of reaction could pop up out of the blue. Corvin also explains that Thompson is not the same person as he was when he pulled the trigger. That self-inflicted gunshot wound changed him.
His damage to the frontal lobes was catastrophic. This is Austin 2.0 in a way. He is not the same human being as he was when he was a 15-year-old with intact frontal lobes.
And because of that, Corvin says that Thompson is able to be reformed. The defense is set to continue their case later this morning, and through the end of the week, WRAL will be in the courtroom. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
And if you didn't know, we're live streaming that hearing every day on our WRAL YouTube channel. You can also find a daily detailed analysis there. But be sure to like and subscribe. That way you don't miss any updates. Well, a developing story that we're following this morning. People in Wake County could have been exposed to measles. This is after health leaders say an infected person visited areas in Raleigh while contagious. Let's go ahead and bring in Kelsey Coffey. She's live at the Harris Teeter there on Creedmoor Road. And Kelsey, it's been nearly a week since this person visited the store that you're at.
Yes, Chris, this Harris Teeter here on Creedmoor Road is one of 4 locations that health officials have flagged as a place where people could have been exposed to measles. We'll go ahead and show you that full list of all of those locations. All of them are just west of the airport in North Raleigh. You could have been exposed if you went to O2 Fitness on Alexander Promenade Place between 1:30 and 5:15 on February 5th, or Everbowl, which is in that same area, between 3:30 and 5:45. 2 Harris Teeter locations have also been flagged. Strickland Road between 5 and 7:10 and Creedmoor Road between 5:15 and 7:35. Measles symptoms usually pop up 7 to 14 days after exposure. So here's what you should be looking out for: high fever, cough, runny nose, watery eyes, tiny white spots in the mouth, and a rash that appears 3 to 5 days after symptoms begin. If you think you have it, call your doctor's office or urgent care before you go to the doctor. Wake County Public Health says that if there are some folks out there that are not vaccinated, or if they're not sure about their vaccination status, go back and check your records, monitor your symptoms, and then contact them if you think that you have measles. You can find that number on our website, WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
The Raleigh man accused of breaking into a teacher's home and killing her has been formally indicted. Ryan Camacho is charged with murder and breaking and entering. Police say that he broke into Zoe Welsh's home about a month ago and killed her. She was a longtime teacher at Ravencroft School in Raleigh, and Camacho has a lengthy criminal record and documented mental health concerns. This morning, we're working to learn who Fayetteville police detained after a deadly stabbing. What you're seeing here was a scene on Daphne Circle late last night. Officers say when they arrived, they found the adult victim suffering from stab wounds, and that person died at the scene. Police say they found a suspect at the scene, and that person was detained. Over in Franklin County, a firefighter died. Firefighter Dale Malone suffered a medical emergency while responding to a fire on Hickory Rock Road yesterday. He was taken to the hospital and later died. The White Level Fire Chief shared this photo of Malone with WRAL. Vance County deputies are investigating the deaths of 2 teenagers. The siblings were found dead in a home near Henderson. The Vance County Sheriff says the 13 and 17-year-olds were brother and sister, and they lived at that home on Torrey Drive with their father. The Sheriff's office has not said, though, how the teenagers died. House Democrats could introduce measures to overturn President Donald Trump's tariffs as soon as today. Last night, the House failed to adopt a rule that would temporarily stop the chamber from a vote. The rule would have stopped a vote at least through the end of July. Republicans passed a similar rule, but it expired at the end of January. Without a rule in place, Democrats could try to end the national emergencies President Donald Trump declared when he implemented his tariffs. A federal grand jury declined to indict 6 Congress Democrats. The group posted a video last November urging military members and intelligence officers to go against illegal orders from the Trump administration. Prosecutors say the video undermines the president's authority. Trump called it an act of sedition punishable by death, but the Democrats say the video echoes the military's own rules. Today, the mayor of Cary is expected to deliver his annual State of the Town address. Mayor Harold Weinbrecht is expected to address the recent wins for the town, like safety ratings and growth, but he's also expected to talk about the recent turmoil surrounding the former town manager. Sean Stegall resigned after being put on leave, and the SBI is now investigating him for possible fraud. Weinbrecht says that he is promising transparency, and today's address will be at the State of Cary breakfast. That starts at 7:30 a.m., and WRAL will be there. Well, here's a look at what we're watching today for the Winter Olympics. Snowboarder Chloe Kim will compete in the women's snowboard halfpipe qualifier this morning. We also know that medals will be awarded in skiing events, luge, speed skating, and figure skating. And Team USA men's curling begins their competition today against Czechia. And taking a look at the medal count, Norway has taken the lead with 12 medals, half of them gold. Italy is in second with 11. Japan is in third with 8 medals. And the U.S. sits in fourth place with 7. Germany rounds out the top 5 with 6 medals. Well, Seattle is expecting more than 1 million people as the Seahawks host their Super Bowl victory parade. They beat the Patriots at Super Bowl 60, and it was their first Super Bowl win in 12 years. Now, what you're seeing right here is video of teams preparing Lumen Field for part of that big celebration. This massive banner will be the backdrop of the stage. That's where the team will again be presented with the Vince Lombardi Trophy. After the stadium ceremony, they'll board double-decker buses and then ride through downtown Seattle to the Seattle Center. The trophy ceremony starts at 10 and the parade starts at 11. Your time's 4:41 this morning. Big safety changes. Wake County schools are dropping code red and rolling out new emergency terms. Why district leaders say that switch matters. Also, from TV to the stage, North Carolina's Brooke Simpson is stepping into a major new role. Why this project marks a big first. You know what? Let's go ahead and step outside and get you a live look at Fenton and Cary. Well, so-called fake spring is on its way out, but it won't be long before it returns. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will show us how many more days we can expect to reach the 60s.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:45, and we're expecting to see some rain rolling in a few hours. But I wanted to start with our tower lit in pink. It is Wednesday. I don't know we are far from October, which is Breast Health Month. But of course, we like to send the reminder out every Wednesday that you want to make sure that you're always doing everything you can to protect your breast health. Ladies out there. All right, let's take a look at our cold front. Our cold front is starting to drop in across our area. There's not a whole lot of rain with it over North Carolina right now, but there definitely is some back to the west, so that will ride up along the front. The farther north you are, the less likely you are to see a whole lot of rain. This morning, it'll mostly start very slowly, but around 7 or 8 o'clock, we'll begin to see some, and it could last all the way up until the latter part of the morning. And we'll walk through Futurecast with you coming up in just a bit. It is a warm start out there this morning. Our temperatures are running from the mid-50s to around 60, but of course, it was a warm day yesterday. So no big heavy coats at the bus stop. The kids may need their umbrellas to start with. It should be mild and dry this afternoon.
We have some breaking news that we're following. The FAA grounded all flights at the airport in El Paso, Texas for about 10 days. The agency said this is because of what it called special security reasons, but there's no word yet on what those reasons are. Today, Zebulon leaders will break ground on Little River Park, and that ceremony starts at 9 this morning. It'll mark the beginning of construction on the long-planned recreation project. Plans include trails, a shelter, restrooms, and outdoor learning space. And the park is expected to open later this fall. Just a heads up, if you drive in downtown Raleigh, part of Hargett Street will close starting today through Sunday. This is for the crane removal at the new City Hall site. Detours will be in place, but pedestrian access will stay open. Starting next month, the Wake County school system will begin training staff members on their new emergency response measures. The school district is doing away with Code Red, and instead, they'll use terms such as lockdown and secure. The new words are meant to better describe the action students and staff should take. The district is also considering adding different security measures. That includes cameras, more security staff, and weapon detectors.
Realized that with the current funding that we had, it would take a good 8 to 10 years to do all of the things that were prioritized by the board.
Any contractor hired will have to get school board approval. This morning, we are hearing from North Carolina native Brooke Simpson about her latest project, and oh, it is a big one. Simpson is best known for being a finalist on season 13 of The Voice and season 16 of America's Got Talent. Well, we want to show you video of her rehearsing in a new off-Broadway musical. It's called Blood Love, and it's a vampire pop opera. It's Simpson's first time on stage in a principal role, and she says she is loving her life on stage in New York City.
I'm so excited to be out here and making art come to life. You know, I feel like that's what really changes the world, and that's what we need right now.
But they're vampires, so come to death, I guess? Who knows? But Blood Love opens March 3rd. It runs until March 29th at Theater 555 in New York City, and you can get tickets at bloodlove.com. All right, swinging over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. She is tracking the next weather maker for us. I know at least what you're giving us that timeline, there's that system that begins to push in a little bit later. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's not raining in the area right now, but as a lot of people head out the door this morning, we're going to see some light patchy rain. It's all thanks to this cold front. We definitely need rain. This is not going to be a big rainmaker for us, but that could change over the weekend. We do have some showers showing up in the mountains and in the upstate of South Carolina. We'll zoom in and take a look at radar. You can see a little bit of light patchy rains trying to sneak into some of our southwestern counties there around the Sandhills. So Moore County, Hoke County, you're likely to be first. But again, a lot of this that's pushing in is very light at the moment, and it's a fairly dry air mass too, so it may take a little time before it reaches the ground. Futurecast, it takes us really all the way out until between 7 and 8 before we see the rain that's fairly widespread. And notice that really north of Durham up toward Roxborough, South Hill, there may be no rain at all. It's going to be in and out pretty quickly. We'll see the rain over around 10 or 11 o'clock. And then skies clear. By lunchtime, we're seeing sunshine. And it looks like the warmth may stick around with temperatures in the mid-60s this afternoon. But we do have colder air that'll come in behind the front eventually. And we'll start to feel it tonight and tomorrow. Here's a live look at downtown Raleigh. We are cloudy right now, but it is dry. It's on the sticky side out there, though, and it's really warm. Our temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s to around 60 degrees right now, and we'll hold it there for much of the day. 56 Chapel Hill, 58 in Fuquay Arena, and 59 in Knightdale. And yes, these temperatures are way above this time yesterday. Yesterday, our temperatures were in the mid to upper 20s, and we're looking at temperatures mostly in the low to mid 30s. So we've seen a 43-degree jump from yesterday morning to yesterday afternoon. The largest was 45-degree jump. So we were very close to the largest rise over 10 hours that we've ever seen. The 45-degree record was set in March of 1981 and November of 2001. So we don't see that very often. Temperatures, again, nice and mild this afternoon. Will be in the mid-60s with that chance of some stray showers. And then we're looking ahead to the weekend. It's very mild and quiet for us Thursday and Friday. Right now, Saturday for Valentine's Day looks dry, but Sunday could bring us a soaker. I'll show you how much rain we could see coming up.
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Your time is 4:50 this morning. We're talking about privacy concerns. A Super Bowl ad from Ring is getting national attention for a new feature designed to find lost pets. Why some critics say it could go too far. And Hollywood throwback, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are reuniting for, yes, another Mummy film. Plus a look at the big changes for the SAG Awards. Good morning to our friends over in Pittsburgh. Hope you slept well. You're going to wake up to some pretty comfortable, I argue, temperatures as you're watching WRAL News, available on Spectrum TV and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Well, entertainment news now, as David Daniel has today's Hollywood Minute.
You have unleashed the creature that we have feared for more than 3,000 years.
Nearly 30 years after they first struck box office gold together, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are reuniting for The Mummy 4. The pair starred in 1999's The Mummy and a 2001 sequel. A 2008 threequel did not feature Weisz. The new flick is due in theaters May 19th, 2028.
It is my job to tell every single SAG-AFTRA member about the name change.
Kristen Bell is hosting the Actor Awards, and in this promo, she does her best to explain that's the new name of the SAG Awards. The Guild's 32nd annual event streams live on Netflix March 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern.
You may remember 1967 is the Summer of Love in San Francisco, so a lot of musical things were going on.
And John Fogerty has been making memorable music ever since. The Songwriters Hall of Fame says the Creedence Clearwater Revival founder and solo artist is this year's recipient of its prestigious Johnny Mercer Award. Fogerty will be honored at a Songwriters Hall of Fame gala June 11th in New York. Down on the corner in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
So the Ring commercial that played during the Super Bowl is drawing widespread concerns. Ring debuted a new feature dubbed Search Party. It's meant to help people find their dogs. All someone has to do is upload a picture to the platform, and it triggers all cameras in a neighborhood to start searching for it. But that's raising concerns for people about privacy.
I thought at first it seemed like it was a good idea, but the more it went on, I feel like it seems like it could be used against people.
Fair concern. That's why we asked Ring to respond to the concerns being shared online. A spokesperson shared this statement saying, quote, "We built the feature with strong privacy protections from the start, and camera owners choose on a case-by-case basis whether they want to share videos." UNC and Duke are moving on for the Battle of the Blues. UNC was still riding high from their buzzer beater against the Blue Devils when they took on Miami. Well, Tar Heels could not keep up the momentum. They lost 75-66 on the road. They never led, and it was Miami fans who got to storm the court. UNC will return home to face Pitt this Saturday. Meanwhile, Duke was looking for a bounce-back win against Pitt on the road. The team got what they needed, in fact. They beat Pitt 70-54, and Duke will be at home on Saturday to take on Clemson. Your time is 4:56 this morning as we're following breaking developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie, what we know about a person of interest, and the new leads in her disappearance. Plus, a push for answers. We are learning new details about the victim in a deadly shooting in Garner, what police are doing to track down the person responsible. Plus, romance scams, millions of dollars lost with your emotions on the line. Five on Your Side will tell you what to do to protect yourself ahead of Valentine's Day.